Hello, this is Joanne Hewins from lovetocreate.typepad.com, and I'm going to attempt to do a Facebook Live. This is something I'm thinking of adding to my repertoire, and if you'll just give me a minute to see if I'm actually live. I am. Today, I'm not going to waste a lot of time trying to see if anybody's going to make a comment or anything like that. I don't really foresee that would happen since I'm just beginning with some of this. I'll try to keep a watch out and see, but I'm just going to go on into my presentation. And if you miss a little bit of the beginning, it should come up on my post later as saved. And you can look at it and get the beginning if you need to. Today we're going to be using the Zany Zebras stamp set. As soon as I saw that, I thought of my granddaughter Sagan and how much she would enjoy getting things with this zebra. In fact, I have a card ready to go in the mail later today when I'm out. It will go. So I wanted to do this one for you. It's pretty simple, and we'll go ahead and get started with it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start with my card base. And this is the thick Whisper White. It is 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to put it in my trimmer at 4 1/4. And I'm going to do a score line down the center. Now you want to be sure that you don't get the cutting blade that's down at the other end. You just want to score it. So I've got that done. And then we'll just fold that in half. And I already see that I have forgotten my bone tool. Bone folder, but what I'm going to do is just bring in a block and just straighten that up. You know, we can adjust, can't we? So that's ready to go. And I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. And we're going to do a little bit of hinge stamping. So I want to talk to you about how to set that up. Now I have the Stamparatus. I don't have the foam piece because this already has the foam on it. And I'm going to put in a grid sheet here and my magnet. And when I set this up, I want to set it up between the two hinges here. So I'm going to put that on. Hopefully it's straight, and pick that up. And what I'm going to do to make sure that it's straight is just go ahead and, whoops, sorry, there's a mess. I'm going to ink that up with my Magenta black, and I'm just going to press it down and see if it's straight. And I see the happy is going up the hill just a little bit, so I'm going to just adjust that a little bit, and then I'm going to stamp it again. Well, you can't stamp with the lid, can you? I'm going to stamp that again and see if it's any straighter. Okay, I think that will work. So I'm going to bring in my card. I'm going to get a Kleenex and just wipe some of that off. I don't think it'll get on there, but why take the chance? Okay, so I'm going to place my card here and stamp or ink it up, and I'm going to stamp. Now if that didn't come out very good with the Stamparatus, I can go ahead and ink that up again if I wanted it darker. I'm going to now just lift it straight up, pull it out, move it down one hinge, and we'll ink, and we'll do that all the way down the paper. I don't think I got it on the bottom there. So lift it up, move it down, and ink it. And we'll just keep doing that until we have it all the way down. I think we can get it on there about 5 times. So it's easy to get it straight. It's easy to just do it in a line, and it's all uniform. It's all perfectly spaced. There we go. We have it already. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'll clean that a little bit later. And so we have this part done. The next part is going to be the Designer Series paper. And this is from the In Color 2020-2022 paper. You can see I've already used quite a bit of that. It's really pretty. And so I have a piece. This comes in 6 by 6, but I'm going to be using it at 5.5. So I've cut off about 1/2 inch of this. So I'm going already when I did the first card, and then I'm going to trim this down. Let me check and see. That is at 1 3/4. So I'm going to put this in at 1 3/4. And we'll cut that piece off. We'll save the other for later. And cover my ink up over here. And so I'm going to just add some glue to this. And I wanted to talk to you about using your grid paper to help you with the placement. You want to make sure you get that straight. So I'm going to lay this down on my paper here so that it is straight across one of the lines. And then I'm going to just put that, actually I'm just going to do that 1/4 over, one line over. And then I'm going to make sure it hits at the one line on the other end. The glue allows me to move that just a little bit. And now we have that glued on there straight. Okay, and I actually may have that a little bit wider than the other card, but that just isn't going to matter. All right, we're going to work now on our ribbon. So what I'm going to do is piece the ribbon here where it's going to be behind my zebra. So I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm just going to use a piece of tape and tape that, and then I'm going to go around the inside of the card and back up and tape the other end. There. Then I'll just get my ribbon scissors and trim that. And no one will ever know it's going to be behind the picture of the zebra. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and make my bow. And I know I don't do good bows, so I use a bow maker, and I've really become dependent on it. Stampin' Up does not sell these, but I think you can find them online if you just search. They're worth every penny, let me tell you. And so I've got my bow. I'll just add that to the card a little bit later. I'll just set that aside, and my ribbon is done. So now I'm going to bring in a scrap of the Whisper White, not really a scrap, but a piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to get the zebra that I want. I want this one that looks like it's running, and I want to make sure that I can cut that out if I go. I want to save paper. Yeah, no problem with that. So let me ink that up with my Magenta. And I'm just going to leave it laying flat like this and ink it this way. That way I think I can see that it's covered well. And if you needed to, you could always use a Stamparatus to stamp this image. So we're going to hope that comes out nicely. Oh, yes, yes. And so I am using the stitched shapes. I'm using the largest oval to cut that out. And then for the little scalloped frame, I'm going to be using the layering ovals dies. And I'll be using this largest one for that, the largest scalloped. So I'm going to bring in, let me move this stuff away, and I'm going to bring in my cutter. Right now I'm still using the Big Shot. Stampin' Up! Is coming out with a new machine, and we'll be able to order it before long, but not yet. So I'm going to lay down, this is the base plate, the adapter, a clear plate, my zebra, and my oval. And then I'll add a clear plate to that. And I think he's centered pretty well. Run that through. Sorry. And then we're going to cut out the Magenta Madness. I think I'll turn that paper around this way. And we will have our cutting done. That doesn't look right, but it is, yay. Let me set that out of the way. Okay, let's bring back in the card. And we are going to glue this to our scallop backing. And I guess it doesn't matter if it's upside down because I can just turn that around. Okay, and then we will add this to the card, right, with dimensionals. Okay, so let me pull this off. And this will go right there, kind of centered over the ribbon. And then let me bring back the bow that we did. And I'm going to add that right up here to the top, where it kind of looks like it would come through from that ribbon up above. And then the only thing left is to add some of these enamel dots. This is the In Color Enamel Dots, and these are the enamel dots that they were having some problems with the top staying with the bottom. What I've read is to, I don't have my bone folder, but to take something and kind of push over that to hold them together a little better. And then also you might try flexing, and that the old paper piercer seems to work a little bit better. But of course you shouldn't have to do all of that. So they were non-orderable, and they are getting that fixed up with the company. So I tell you all of that to tell you that these may not stay together as I put them on here. maybe they're doing fine. I think I'll put one here instead. Oh, forgot about that. I forgot about the saying. So we're not done. Let me put that out of the way. And just on this scrap paper right here, I'm going to bring back my Stamparatus because that word is already on there. I'm just going to set this paper here. And I'll stamp that there. And then we will bring in the classic label punch, and we'll use that to punch out our saying. So I'm just going to do it from the back and make sure it's even on each end. And then we'll just bring in a little bit of glue. Now I'm not going to put glue all the way out to the ends because it extends over the oval. And then we'll just put that across there. And now we're done with the outside of the card. Now on the inside of the card, I had the saying, "It's time to celebrate." So we will stamp that. Okay, and then we had a different zebra. I think it was this one. And that went down in the corner here. I do like to do the insides of my cards. And then there's one other piece there that's the shadow of the zebra. And I don't have it out, but I'll get it out. Sorry about that. And then we'll put that little shadow under him, like that. So that completes the card. It's really pretty easy, and I just think it is so, so cute. And even though I measured, I did get this cut thicker. I don't think it matters. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'd love for you to check out my blog at lovetocreate.typepad.com. This will later be posted on YouTube, and I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. If you need any supplies, you can order from my online store through my blog post. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And later, if you're watching this, if you do have any comments, I'll come back and look. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.